So I want to show you guys something. We scaled this company from $20,000 a month in sales to $292,000 in a couple of months. And we did that in two ways. Number one, we created a new high converting online store for them. And then the other thing was optimizing Google Ads. Now, if we go through this month by month, we can see that, when we started in June 21. Let me go ahead and I'll pull up June here. You can see where the company was before. 2.2 conversion rate. That's not bad, but for us to be as successful as we are with our companies, we always want to see numbers a lot higher than that. So something closer to 6, 7, things like that. That's very possible with Shopify if you do things correctly. This was 2.2 when we started in June, and we ended up after the first month, we spent the first couple weeks setting up the new store, and then we started running ads in, I believe, July or August. But let's just see that after we made the change from the previous version of the site to the new one that we created, let's see where it jumped to. So it went to almost 7%. So from 2.2 to 7% in 1 month. That's really good numbers, right? And you saw that just the first month, it jumped just based off the percentage. I don't even think we started running ads at this point. I believe we started ads in August. So this was July, so a little bit before. But just updating the theme and making sure that the conversion rate was where it needed to be and optimizing it to make it perform a lot better, it brought the sales up. It doubled the sales, more than doubled the sales. So $50,000 in July, 6.9% conversion rate. Let's do August, almost 9%, right? And look at this. Look at the add to cart. Add to cart at 11, the reach checkouts at 11, and the sessions converted is at 8.9, right? 9 essentially. This right here, this add to cart number, that being 11, that tells you, the add to cart number tells you how well your site is at selling the product and just the overall quality of your site. If this number is low here, obviously these other numbers are going to be low. But if this is low, this is telling you that you're not doing enough to sell the product and really show consumers that this is a product they want to buy. Either the product page is off, the branding is off, anything like that, right? If this number is high here, then that's telling us that, okay, the site is at a good place, right? If we had a big drop off here in terms of reach checkout and sessions converted, then we're looking at other stuff. We're looking at shipping prices, we're looking at all that. But in this situation here, we dialed in the site, the theme, to get it to 11% conversion rate. The reach checkout is, there's barely any drop off. That's perfect, right? We want to make the buying process as efficient as possible, minimize as many clicks as possible onto our stores, because with more clicks, it gives people more ways to leave the store, to exit, to do something, right? We don't want to do that. We want to make it that once they get to the product page, the only way they can leave the store is by purchasing the product and getting to the thank you page. That's it. If you have a bunch of things that's going to have people going around to different parts of the store and viewing different pages, you're going to have people drop off, right? So we update the theme. We make sure it's performing well in terms of add to carts, make it very efficient to get to initiate checkout. And then this last step here, sessions converted, initiate checkout to sessions converted. The only thing that I'm looking at there is going to be shipping. Most likely, if there's a big drop off, there's a disconnect with the shipping. Either it's too high, or the time is too long, or something like that. That's a really big factor in people actually going through and purchasing. So if I see an issue here, like if I see this number at 11 and this was maybe at like a 2 or a 3, then I know that everyone's dropping off in this step, and then we have to make a change there. We played around the shipping prices, the shipping times, and we made sure that, we told the client that, hey, we're going to bring you a lot of people and they're going to want to buy the product. You guys got to make sure on your end that the fulfillment time and everything is where it needs to be. Coincidentally enough, we did bring them a lot of sales very quickly, and they ended up selling out. And there were some inventory issues for the next couple of months, I believe. Yeah, we went down from 148 to 99. Everything was down here. This was just because they had a majority of the month or the days, the product was sold out and people were coming in the store and, they couldn't really buy. But once we got everything back in place, we see that, November, we went back up to 119. And then in December, we did 180,000, right? And keep in mind, this company was doing 20,000 about 6 months ago before this. Now they're at 180,000. And then we have 290,000. So in January, we knocked it out the park. So that's about a 10x return, or a 10x scaling of the company. They're making 20,000 and we got them to about 300,000. Again, the two things was updating the theme, making sure that the buying process was as easy as possible for the consumers. And then the other thing was with Google Ads. Now, we only ran Google Ads on this for this client. We didn't do Facebook, we didn't do TikTok, we didn't do anything else. So anybody that's telling you that you can't get this sort of success off one platform is wrong. They're mistaken. If you do it correctly, you don't need 3 or 4 different platforms. Obviously, having those platforms and performing well on them will amplify everything. But it's not needed. This product here, we weren't allowed to advertise on Facebook. It was against our terms of service for whatever reason. So we only had Google. We made the best we could do with it, right? And we did great. I mean, if we see, we started in August and we went to January, about a 7.6 ROAS, right? Which is, I mean, that's really good. We spent $30,000 on Google Ads and made back $235,000. So those are pretty good numbers, right? And then if we're looking through, how we actually started off, the first month in August when we started, we went directly to almost 8 ROAS. This is the first month, and we started halfway through the month, right? August 19th. That's incredible, right? We spent $800 and made back $7,000. That's obviously numbers we want to see, right? In the next month, focus on scaling, growing everything. The spend goes up, the conversion value goes up. The ROAS is that actually went up as well too. So again, you don't need to do a lot to get a store to perform well. You just need to make sure that the things you are doing are done correct. Instead of spending, thousands of dollars on ads and getting the data, if you set it up from the beginning correctly, you don't need to spend all this time to get the data. You can just spend 30,000 and make back 200,000. It's very possible. But like I said, everything has to be dialed in correctly. That's the most important thing we focus on with our clients is not only are we going to bring you the best results in terms of running ads, but we make sure the landing page is done correctly. We make sure that the branding is set up correctly, and then the people who we are targeting are going to be people that are going to convert. So just want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown here of this recent client. Like I said, if you guys have any trouble, go ahead, shoot me a message. Just let me know. We'll take it from there.